Right, bit late with the video again this week, I'm afraid, but as usual, I'm halfway through my weekly deep clean of the bird room. Nothing much has changed with the birds from last week, apart from there's a lot of feathers being dropped now with all the youngsters coming into their first molt, and the adults aren't going to be far behind. I separated the last of the chicks off last week, of course. They're in the cage with, this is 3 chicks that I separated last week with 2 older ones from another nest. So I've got 5 in there. They're all rung and done well. And then the parents. There's the hen having a well-deserved rest now. And the cockbird separated off and getting used to being on their own again after a hard breeding season. I just thought I'd show, I did get asked a question a couple of weeks ago by someone who's just starting up, and they're going to put a bird shed together. So I thought I'd just briefly show a few of what I class as my essentials. So as you all know, I've got a very basic sort of bird room, probably the minimum that you could sort of have really, but it has got a few essentials. Firstly, obviously you need fresh air. So the first things I did on the bird room, I have got windows, but they're completely sealed because I've always had problems with opening windows and leaking, etc. So this time when I did this new bird room, I did something different. I've kept them sealed, and I've got what's called a stable door as the main door. So obviously I've got the bottom half, which I keep closed all the time, and then the top half I open up, and I have and this is rain, wind or shine or sun, doesn't matter, and then I put a wire safety door over that, which clips into place, and that's what I leave on all the time, so they get loads of fresh air, and they're kept safe obviously from that. And then I just clip it, the hooks there. And what I can actually do I can actually just hook it and have it hooked like that if I want as well. But pretty much all the time that is all the way open, and I just have my safety door on, obviously, so I get plenty of fresh air through that. And then what you definitely need is air vents. So I've got one at the top here. I am going to put another one in as well, but so that's a covered mesh, covered air vent, so that no creepy crawlies and that can get in, and no flies or anything. And then on the inside, that's on the inside, and then at the other side of the bird room, opposite end of the bird room, I've got another one which is on the back and side of the bird room basically. So that's sort of like the minimum essentials for sort of keeping the air clean and flowing. And then I have lights. Of course, I can turn these on and off manually if I want to. I have 3 in here. In the summer, I've got another one up in the corner here. But when it's bright like this, I just have them on as a bit of supplemental light. And I've got those attached to timers. So I've got 2 timers. And there's another one there. And those, I don't enhance the light or add to the hours like a lot of bird breeders do. I just, I pretty much have them coming on as daylight starts. So they just enhance the natural light, so it's not really dark in here on an overcast day and things like that. But I don't. I keep my birds pretty natural, so they go actually with the seasons. So when the light starts to build in the spring, that's what I'm using. So if sunrise is, say, 7 a.m, my lights come on at 7 a.m. So I'll have these the small one will come on first at 7 a.m, and then these two come on, say, half an hour later. So they're just enhancing the light, and then they go off a few hours before actual sunrise. So at the moment, sunrise is about 8:30, and these actually go off at 6 o'clock. So I'll adjust that through the year. I know a lot of breeders, obviously, they'll start adding to the actual hours of daylight, say from January, end of January or February in the UK, to get their birds to breed earlier. But I don't do that. I literally go with the seasons. So my birds are breeding when there's about 12-14 hours of natural daylight, and I just, as I say, I'm waffling now, but I just use the lights to enhance the natural daylight, not to extend it. So obviously I've got electricity, which is a luxury. It's funny, I'm pretty old school, and I remember my granddad's shed. I remember it being a big upgrade when he added a single light bulb to his bird shed, and and of course that didn't have a timer. You just turned it on and off when you went in and out. So that's my luxury, basically, is the electricity. I have a standard fan, tower fan. I am going to get a small air conditioning unit, but tower fan is probably the minimum that you should use. I do have a night light. I got this, obviously you won't be able to see it, but it's just a little square plug-in light. It didn't cost much. It was just about £10 it was, and that just comes on, obviously, when it's dark. It's got a sensor on the front, so that's plugged in all the time, and that just comes on. It just gives a very low light, so if the birds do get disturbed in the night, the idea is they've got enough light to get back on the perches and settle. So and then the other essential I've got a blind that comes down for when it's really bright and the sun's beating down. My bird room gets the sun as it rises in the morning, and then it goes over the back and the side of the shed as the day progresses. So sometimes, like when it's been really bright and really hot, and I know it's going to be like that, the night before I'll put I'll have the blind down. And then I mean, that's pretty much the essentials, to be honest, of the actual bird room. Luxuries in a way. I'm not sure, you don't actually need them. The things I'd say you definitely need is the air vents, and if you've got any windows or doors that are open, you want a wire safety door so you can leave them open and nothing can get in or out. But more importantly, like cats or anything that can come in and cause harm to your birds, and stop the mice and the rats coming in. And I have got insulation. As you can see, the ceiling's insulated and pretty much all around the sides. Now, whether that keeps it cooler in the summer or not is another thing entirely. I'm not sure. It probably does a little bit, keeps the heat out. But what it does do is, obviously, because this is a wooden shed, And no matter how good this wooden shed is, you are going to get slight drafts and gaps, I suppose. So it does stop all of that, so you don't get any drafts and anything coming in from the actual sides of the shed. And in the winter, it probably does keep the temperature up slightly as well. And my insulation is just a roll of insulation material that you can buy reasonably cheaply, and I've just stapled it around to the battens, and as you can see, I've just stapled it to the battens. You've got to have a gap, so obviously there's the gap behind for the airflow. Otherwise, it's just going to sweat. You don't put this flat onto the actual shed wall. You have a gap, so I'll go batten to batten, and you've got the gap between. I have got some wood boarding, not much so. I didn't feel I needed it. I've got some on that side, a bit down there. Let's show a bit down there, and a bit on that side. I don't think you need it behind the cages, because the cages themselves are sort of the barrier. But yeah, that's a long-winded way of showing the basics of a birdroom, I suppose. Of course, depending on your budget and how far you want to go with it, yeah, as long as you get those basics right, then you can you can keep going. I have got a dust extractor, which I haven't hooked up yet in the new birdroom. That's indoors at the moment, but that's a air purifier dust filter. That's quite good. I haven't actually felt the need to put it in, to be honest, on a permanent basis, as I've mentioned in previous videos. And birdroom is the air is very clean, but I will probably bring it in and fix it up at some point. Only not an essential, but what I have got is a little that shows the temperature and humidity in the birdroom. A bit wonky, but it's not electric. That's just where I've happened to put it. So that shows the humidity in the birdroom and the rough temperature. So that's quite handy to have one of them. Yeah. So anyway, that's sort of my essentials, really. Fresh flowing air, and some way of protecting your windows when they're open, or your doorway. I do like the having that stable door that I've just showed you. It means that I've got a large area of open airflow on the front, and then having the tower fan down there just circulates the air as well, so keeps it all quite nice in here. But yeah, those are my sort of basics, I'd say. And then obviously you can add, as I say, depending on your budget, you can add all sorts. You put extractor fans in, or fit a really nice air conditioned cooling unit. But yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd talk about something different this week, so there you go. Right, I'm gonna finish off cleaning the birdroom, and this, I'll tell you what, just see if I can show you. This bird is really, the shape is really coming into its own. It's a lovely bird, that, and its brother or sister. Both of them got really nice, as they molt and mature slightly. They're really starting to look nice. Nice bit of character and nice great heads on both of them. Anyway, okay, I'll leave it at that. No singing because they're eating. These are molting pretty heavily. Thanks for watching, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll add another video next week as usual. Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.